What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Danny on NFL, a show dedicated to the Indianapolis Colts. My name is Daniel, and we are going to be covering the piss-poor outing that the Colts had yesterday against the Tennessee Titans. And boy, was it a bad outing. So, not the entire game was bad. What was bad was about from the second quarter on. So for the first four drives ended up with both the teams scoring 14 points. And at the end of the first quarter, the score was 14-7. And then the Colts got the ball on the first drive of the second quarter, went down. They scored a touchdown, and the Titans just pretty much just ran away with the game. So the Titans scored 14 unanswered points. The final score ended up being 45-26. Derrick Henry just ran all over the Colts defense, and boy, was it oh my god, it was bad to watch, honestly. And it's very clear that DeForest Buckner was worth the first round pick, and it's not even close. That Chris Ballard knew that we had a hole, and not having Autry and not having Buckner out there were two big giant issues, and the Titans knew that, and they exploited it, and they did a very good job at doing that. And there was a stat that I saw too that the Colts have only allowed 3 100-yard rushing games in the past 2 years, and all those have come from Derrick Henry. So Derrick Henry, for whatever reason, seems to always have the Colts number. And yesterday, he embarrassed the Colts. He had a 6.6 average. He had 27 carries, 170 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Originally, he had this little shovel pass, and they claimed that it was a passing touchdown, but then they changed it to a rushing touchdown. So for fantasy owners, if you were in like a PPR league, you only lost a point on that. But unfortunately, I had him in my fantasy league. I want to win games, and he's a really good running back. And you know, it was really hard to watch because the Colts defense has just been so dominant for the whole year, and I've said this constantly throughout the season, and I have always said the mark of a good team is when you beat up on teams that you are supposed to beat, as in the Vikings, as in the games in the beginning of the year, save for the Jaguars, but then you find a way to win against really good teams, and that's what they did against Green Bay last week. And it just didn't seem like they came out with the same oomph as they did against the Packers, really. And the Titans came to win. The Titans 2 weeks ago got their butts whooped at home. And they came out and they wanted to prove that they were the kings in the AFC South, and they came out and did that. And I even wrote something before the game that I didn't think that having those 5 starters out was going to be a big deal, but apparently it was. And the two biggest areas that we had of concern really showed yesterday. Anthony Costanzo went out with a injury, and Lawrence Timmons just took over the game against Clark, and Rivers was just constantly pressured. And then not having Buckner and Autry really showed too. And so the main issue here was we lacked the depth at corner, and it's very clear that Rock is just he's way too aggressive. I mean, he had one more really bad armbar on a receiver that they called for PI. Again, it was like a 30-yard penalty against them. Then on the same drive, we sacked the Titans quarterback on third down, and he gets a illegal hands to the face. Ends up being first and first and goal from about the 5. The very next play, Henry goes in for a touchdown. And I just remember just thinking to myself, Rock, you are killing us. And our two biggest areas of need is depth at defensive back and also at tackle. And, we sorely missed Bobby Okereke yesterday too because of his speed. And like I said, it just didn't seem like the Colts came out to play, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So, and it wasn't just Henry who had a 6.6 yard average. It was Deontay Freeman, the former Falcons running back, who did too. He had 4 for 28 for 7 yard average. And Tannehill also had a rushing touchdown too. So it wasn't just like it was just, Henry had a couple of big runs. No, he had 8, 7, 6, 11 yard runs that were just big, and it was hard to watch. Now the Colts side, they really did miss the power back that Taylor had. Excuse me. And Hines, it's clear that Hines is a third down running back. He's not the power back that Taylor is. He got the ball 10 times for 29 yards on the ground for a 2.9 average. Rivers was 24 of 42 for 295, 2 touchdowns and a pick. And of course, it was a really bad pick at a time when the Colts really needed to put up points. And then also too, they did a onside kick, and AJ Brown caught the ball and ran it back for a touchdown again. So that was just the icing on this game. Receiving rise, T.Y. Hilton finally got into the end zone. It was like a 5-yard fade. He had 4 for 81. Michael Pittman had 2 for 28. And this is the thing that really is making me angry, okay? Why are we not getting the ball to Trey Burton and Michael Pittman in the red zone more? I've been saying this all season long. Pittman is a 6'4" receiver. He's obviously making strides. His confidence level is being boosted every single week that he has a really good game. Why are we not getting him the ball more? And I cannot for the life of me figure out why we are throwing a fade to a 5'9" speedy receiver when we have a 6'6" tight end and a 6'4" receiver. Why are we doing that? And like I said, I can't for the life of me understand that. On the defensive side of the ball, Leonard had 10 tackles. Like I said, it just seemed like the whole defense just came out flat. Anthony Walker had 3. Kari Willis had 4. Leonard had a sack. Julian Blackmon there was basically gone the entire game. TJ Carey had to come in at the start of the second quarter because Rock was just getting beat. And it just, like I said, the defense was just getting beat. So overall, I had to look at the film to see like really where the like criticism really should actually be. But as of right now, with 5 games left, the Titans are leading by 1 game, and the Colts really they kind of do have a tougher schedule coming up right now. So the final games of the year. So this weekend they play at Houston, and then they go to Vegas. So there's 2 road games, which, I mean, Vegas just got their butts kicked by the 3-7 Falcons. And they play at home against Houston. Then they go to Pittsburgh, and then they end the season at home against the Jaguars. So realistically, they could probably split the Houston game, and they would probably lose to Pittsburgh, and they would probably go 10-6. And I mean, the Titans have a decent schedule as well, and they can more than likely. I mean, I don't see how the Colts can make up that game, especially with the teams that the Titans play next. They play at home against Cleveland, then they go to Jacksonville, then they play at home against the Lions, which is just not a good team. Then they play at Green Bay and then at Houston. So the way that the Titans are playing right now, you could really see them going 12-4 to finish out the season, and they could get the home field throughout the playoffs. And it was just like I said, the team just came out flat. It was not a good outing. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and end the recap here. I am gonna take a look at the film. I'll have a film study out kind of later in the week on kind of what went wrong and why DeForest Buckner is such a force to be reckoned with. So with that being said, I'd like for you guys to comment. What do you guys think that the Colts need to do to change everything? If you did like this video, make sure to share it on social media. Helps me a lot. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. With that being said, peace out.